Hey there. Today we will be learning about how to do the textures, how to put the wash, how to build the midtone, and how to bring the shadows and the highlights to life. So first we will start with having a paper. Right now I'm having a Chitrapat paper, which is an Indian 100% cotton paper, and I have a masking tape with me. So it is very important to properly stretch your paper. And hey there, so we are back with the sketch being done. I have divided the paper into three halves. Here I will be showing you how the wash is done. Here I will show you how the midtones are done, and here finally we will be completing the painting. So I'll have to do this painting 3 times over here. So let's get started. Here I have some ultramarine blue, some cerulean blue, and some Payne's yellow. So these are the three colors, three primary colors that we will be using. I'm using the flat brush over here, and then what we will do right now is wet the paper so that we can work on the sky. It's very important to note one thing, and that is to make sure that you leave the white spaces in the painting as it is, because we don't want the white areas in the paper to be wasted, because otherwise it will be very difficult to recreate it. Either we can go with the flow and then make make the sky and the wash completely spontaneous, and then we can go and scrape off or take away some portion of color so that we get the white, or we can leave the white also. That is up to us. So I will tell you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me wet the paper first, and then let's go ahead and take some nice ultramarine blue. Mix it with a bit of cerulean blue to get that nice blue color, and let's apply it. So you see that I have kept the paper in certain angle so that gravity will do its job. Now we will take some Payne's yellow color and dilute it with water, and then apply it over here in the certain section of blue will be overlapped, and then just drag it down. See? So let it just percolate down. Now we will mix the Payne's yellow and blue together over here and apply it on this portion. So this area we are leaving it as it is, because this portion will be the river portion. So let's not do anything right there. So we are leaving the white of the paper intact. Now this is the ground area where we have some shadows. So we will do the underlaying color, which is primarily the blue color, and I am mixing some on the blue color itself. I am mixing some some paint yellow over here, some Naples yellow over here. Okay, see what we have done is, now this is basically what we wanted. Okay, so we wanted the sky, then the sky is slowly fading down to Naples yellow, and then slowly it is fading down to no color, and this portion, which is the ground portion, is having a lot of shadow portion. So we are keeping it slightly darker. So I talked about scraping away or taking away some paint, right? So what you can do is take the brush, take away the just remove the excess water. Just remove the excess water. It should be damp but not wet, and then just use it on top of the colored surface. See, over here I have scraped away the paint. So once this is done, we will quickly dry the thing. So once it is dry, it looks like that. So we will go ahead and do the same things over here, because we need the exact same thing on both these places as well. So let me just quickly finish that and I will join you in some time. So we are back with the painting. Unfortunately, while doing the painting, my microphone's cord was visible in the frame, so I am very sorry for that. So basically what we did is, we applied mixture of cerulean blue and ultramarine blue for the sky, and we roughly did this much patch and allowed the paint to percolate downwards. Then we applied Naples yellow, and we have brought it down. I've kept this much portion white because this much portion is the river area. Basically this will look very bright because it reflects light, and then this much portion is the shadow area and the foreground area. So here it's a combination of ultramarine blue and Naples yellow. So basically the same color what has been applied there has been applied here. So now this is the first wash, so we will not touch this one, because finally at the end of the painting you will see what is the wash and how the mid-tone and how the final thing looks like. So I'll tape this much down. I'll just use the masking tape. I hope it doesn't scrape away the paint or lift the paint up. So I am masking this much portion, roughly an inch. Okay, and then we will continue the painting from here. So we will now go with the calligraphy brush, which is, I have already told you that it's a versatile brush, and we will add in one more color to our palette, that is the orange color. So we have basically three colors. We have ultramarine blue, we have Naples yellow, and we have the orange color. Now first and foremost we will apply some yellow to certain areas which are reflecting light. Okay, so this portion is reflecting some light, so we will apply that. And so we will start with the basically the distant temple architecture, and start with applying some Naples yellow, because this monument at certain places will reflect some light. So this is very distant, very far away thing, so we don't have to give in a lot of details, because the rule says that whichever thing is very far from eyesight will always have less details in it. So I am using pure Naples yellow here. Then what I will do is I will mix in color on top of this yellow color to give it a nice gradient sort of thing. So first I am using Naples yellow and dragging it down. Then I am mixing a bit of orange with the Naples yellow. See, directly on the paper. Okay. And at certain places I am dropping in the orange color just to add in some variety. Okay. Then we start mixing the blue color and the orange color to get a kind of brown color, brownish gray color. And then as it comes down, certain places we'll be dropping in this color. See, so what I am doing right now is leaving certain highlights of the foreground. Get in some more ultramarine blue. And mix it with some orange. See this dark color. It looks very dark here, but after it dries, it doesn't feel that much darker. So we will give a rough shape to the temple. Okay. You see, we are using only 3 colors, but still you will see a lot of tonal differences and a lot of different textures building around. So that is because we are mixing the colors around. Okay. And then we will use some pure blue color, ultramarine blue. So here I have left in some white of the foreground area. Don't disturb that. So you see, we have got a very painted view of the temple area. Okay. And what are we going to do now is create some highlight areas over here by lifting some paint. See, what I am doing is I am lifting some paint here. Just a damp. I have damped this brush, taken away excess amount of color, and just I am trying to scrape away or lift some color. so that is going to give me a nice hazy effect. So now we will create an illusion of some smoke coming out. So for that we will take a smaller brush. Now I'm using a Raphael soft aqua brush. I have dipped it in water. Now I will take away the excess water, and then see, I am trying to lift away some excess water, some excess color from here. Okay, and if you think this is not solving your purpose, then what we can do is we can go ahead and use some Chinese white and drop in some Chinese white over here. That is also going to work, but I am trying to do away with adding some water and script and taking away some paint using brush and then tissue paper. So I am using this tissue paper, I have rolled it, and I am lifting away the color. See, the color is coming on over here. So this is going to create an effect of some smoke coming out. Okay, then what we can do is we can take some water on hand and then sprinkle it like that. So that is going to disintegrate the subject, create some small spots on the surface, which is going to look very nice. So I think we are done with this, and what we will do is we will complete this portion also, let it dry, and then we will be back. So we are done with this portion also, which I did offline, and now we will be doing the foreground area, which is primarily a combination of orange and Naples yellow. So so basically I'm going and dropping in some color here to give it a feeling of some texture. Here it will have more of yellow and orange, so let's go ahead and do that. I am painting this portion also as well, because we need the underlying mid-tone for completing the painting on this section. So this one will be the completed section, as I told you earlier. So if you see, I am not being very detailed, because I am just dropping in the color tones just so that it gets a kind of feeling that something else is there. I am not trying to build any shapes or I am not trying to define anything at this moment as well. So I am just dropping in color. So I am mixing some ultramarine blue now, just dropping at some places, see, like that. So okay, now we will be darkening this portion, which is basically a portion which is blocking the sunlight, and it's very dark. The sunlight is falling on the other side, so this portion is going to be dark. We will give the top portion slightly orangish tinge, and the side portion also slightly more orange. The reason is because that is closer to sunlight. The portion which is exactly opposite of sunlight will be very dark. For example, this portion. So this is the mid-tone value. Wherever we are seeing dark, we will make it dark. And so this portion is going to have the after effect of the shadow. So this portion will have some darkness over here. Okay, same thing will happen to this thing. It will also have some orange on top and some mix of orange and ultramarine at the bottom. So as we go down, it becomes darker. See, basically the treatment is the same. I'm leaving some portion, if you see. So certain things are made such that they reflect some light. Even in the darker areas they will reflect. They are relatively less dark than the adjoining places. So to create that kind of illusion, I am keeping some areas, I am leaving some areas which I will make some more dark in the later time. So I am adding more darkness here. So more blue means more dark, cool colors. See, the more dark I make it, the more depth you get. So here also we will make it slightly darker. So this is a good time to add in the foreground. I don't know what it is called, but kind of tent sort of structure, for which we have left the whites earlier. So this is just, it should be suggestive. You don't need to have a lot of details, just that it should tell you that there is something. You don't need to be too much cautious about the detail. That is the beauty of watercolor, that too much of detail will rather kill the painting. Okay, now we will add in some lines over here. The ghat area. Ghat area means the area where people go and take bath near the river. So as I told you, here you have the river, so we have kept it almost white color. And now we are adding some lines over here for the rocks and the other elements like the staircase and everything which are there in the ghat area. So the same thing I'm going to do over on this side, and we will get in touch in some time. So we are back after completing this portion, and the mid-tone section is done. If you see here, it doesn't have a lot of details but has the underlying color. Now on top of that we have built and we have used orange and ultramarine blue for the background, distant temple architecture. We have created some smoke. We have also created the foreground section, which is relatively darker and will be having more details as compared to the background. I have also added the color of the river, which is very light shade of blue. That has been added. I have tried to leave some white areas over here, which will basically look like highlight. And I have also left the areas where the human figures are coming. Here I didn't draw the human figures, but later I have put human figures over here. Now we will go ahead and finish the painting. For that I will be using this soft aqua brush, and at the last I will use the rigger brush and finish it. So just wait and watch how things turn out. Okay, so we will go ahead and use some blue and some orange. make it slightly lighter, add some water, and we'll add in some more values, dark tones in the background. Wherever we have left it, there we will be adding. Take some water and blend it. So here we had the smoke. So take a tissue paper. Always keep tissue paper handy with you, because in watercolor you might need to lift away color or water when at any time. Again some ultramarine blue, more of blue, less of orange, just to get that gray color, and just add in a bit of dark areas over here. See, I'm just putting a few dots, not more than that, and leave the rest to imagination. Here I'm also putting a bit of dots. Just dilute some water and just fade it away. So basically I'm creating the dark, I'm just leaving a bit of dark patches but not overdoing it, and for that I'm not leaving a very sharp edge anywhere. I'm diluting it. So once that is done, just a minute. Okay, now we will go ahead with the foreground section over here and add in some more dark values. I'm adding more blue over here and defining the section properly now. So mixing some orange. So now I'm just keeping just placing a few lines and dots and trying to create a suggestion of something broken, something is kept over there. I mean, it is not a very plain surface, something is there, some stones are there, so it will give you an indication as if something is there, but you are not clear what is there, because it's very far from us. So See, I'm just making a line and putting a dot, making a line, putting a dot, like that. Okay. So this is basically to fool the eye, to believe that there is something. Basically you are making nothing. You are just making a random a random shape out of nothing. So just scrape away color from somewhere, just put in some twigs. So this third layer basically brings the subject to life. Okay. So far whatever we have done is just to lay the background colors, but now we will be defining the shapes. Okay, and this will finally make the painting come to life. So now see, I'm defining the staircase area. So this staircase is leading us to this place. Okay, then some other stone chips and stone blocks we will make here, just like that. Interestingly, you see, we have used primarily three colors: blue, orange, and Naples yellow. In blue, I have used a combination of cerulean blue and ultramarine blue. Cerulean blue's use is limited to only the sky and the river. Rest everything is made primarily with the ultramarine blue, because for the dark areas I'm mixing various proportions of ultramarine and orange. So just imagine the entire painting is done using only three primary colors, or if you want to consider cerulean blue, then four primary colors. So just give a tinge of color over here. Same thing we are going to do for some figures out here. Basically mix it with blue and orange color. So friends, after doing the human figures, I basically completed the painting by putting a few flag masks out here using this rigger brush, and I have used vermilion color to put these flags also. So if you see now how the painting progressed from something like this, which has nothing but the basic color, to here where you have the background, you have the foreground, and the basically you have set the middle tone, but you have not defined anything. You have just set the colors and the tones, and here you just add in the finer values like shadows over here, shadows over here, the flag mask, more shadows over here, more dark tones, human figures. Then add in the fine details, use white color for the for laying in some highlights, just like this, you know. This kind of highlight just adds to the depth of the painting. And then I think we are done with the demo. I hope you learned a lot today on how to do a painting. See, this is a very simple subject wherein we have a temple where we are not putting a lot of details. You have the river where you don't have to put a lot of details again, and the foreground also is something where the details are not visible properly because a lot of shadow is there. So these kind of compositions are easy to execute. The only the only trick of how to successfully pull this off is by having the right values and the right color tones. So because we have used yellow at the back, so this gives a natural warmth to us, and with orange and yellow combination and ultramarine blue, we have tried to create the play of light and shadows. So I hope you understood a lot of things today, and you will put it to practice as well. Try this and let me know in the comment section if you found this video helpful. Also, please do subscribe to my channel, and please support me through my art journey over here. Thank you very much. We'll meet again. Bye bye.